Greetings, everyone. Happy Kwanzaa to all of you. Happy IMANI Day, Day of You of Faith. I am Queen Diambi Kabatusila Chiyomwata, Mukalinga Mukaji wa Nkashama, Wabakwaluntu, Wabaluba, Wakasai, wa Congo. So that is a woman king of the Order of the Leopard of the Bakwaluntu people, who are part of the Luba ethnic group that is now in Kasai, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm also Granji Mai do Povo Bantu Brasileiro, that is traditional queen of the African descendants of Brazil, and Reina de los Congo de Panama, traditional queen of the Congo descendants of Panama. I'm really honored to be here in your presence to wish you a happy Kwanzaa. Today is the last day of Kwanzaa, and it's the day that marks Imani. Imani is faith, and I'm very pleased to be here among you to talk about faith. I believe it's important that all of us hang in there, and that's what faith is about. Faith is about the trust that good things are coming. Faith is built because we look at the past, we look at all that we have gone through as a people, and we have overcome. The celebration of the year are a celebration that were invented by our ancestors because they invented the calendar. So that's why we are able to have cyclical, celebration at a particular time in the year, because the year is a concept that was invented by our ancestors. For thousands of years, they observed the skies, they observed, the celestial phenomena, and realized the connection between what was going on in the sky up there and what was the correlation happening on Earth, on the land, on the people, on the life on Earth, and realized that everything was interconnected. Therefore, they are advised to make a calendar. They are advised to mark all these events. They are advised to, plant, the idea that we were all super connected, and we were connected to a cycle. And there are many cycles. There are many cosmic cycles. Some that we are more familiar with are the seasons here on Earth, and shorter cycles are the cycles of the moon. So our ancestors, after thousands of years of observing reality, realized that it was important to organize our understanding of that reality. And we drew the understanding of what that intelligence was with the observations that we made. So this is how we can say we understand the spirit that is the spirit that permeates everything, the spirit of life, or the spirit of creation. That is also what we are made of. So we are made at the image of that energy, of that intelligence that permeates everything and that is in everything. So today, the reason why I'm speaking about the ancestors is quite important when you talk about faith, because we are indeed today manifesting a hope and faith of our ancestors that for a couple of centuries underwent severe abuse, underwent exploitation, with slavery, and with also the colonization that came after. But for 3,000 years, Africa has been constantly attacked for its resources and also for the privilege of using the knowledge and the wisdom of our people. So our ancestors have left an immense and abundant heritage. And that immense and abundant heritage is something that we need to use, we need to connect with, we need to learn. And it's not in school that they will teach you that. So we have to go out of our comfort zone. We have to seek who are our elders. We have to seek who are our teachers and priests, and who are the ones who are holding the wisdom and the knowledge of our ancestors, and read and get ourselves informed and share the information that we know with others, and especially with our children. The current education systems will not encompass, will not include all this information. We have to go out there and find this information. Africa has now suffered of a huge image deficit. For too long, Africans have been portrayed in such a negative light, only for the sole purpose of exploiting them, and only for the sole purpose of destroying their psyche and destroying the trust in themselves. So, and that didn't work, because no matter what happened to us, no matter where we were, no matter what was the journey, our ancestors held on and flourished wherever they were, under whichever conditions that they were in. Because see, we are the descendants of civilization builders. For thousands of years, Africa has been the terrain of the most amazing civilizations, those that were balanced, those that yield to societies where there was equity, where there were justice, where they were equitable distribution of resources, where there were respect for women, respect for men, respect for children, respect for all life. We have had civilization where education was a paramount value, where we had a principle of how we deal with each other, and those were about truth, righteousness, and justice. And that's why we were able to build harmonious societies for thousands of years. We also have a huge understanding of our role in as guardian, as custodian of this planet, and respecting every life form, and always making sure that we replenished when we took something. Even when we do our prayers and rituals, we always give thanks. We always give back to what we get. So I think it's quite important to understand that we have to have faith. We are the manifestation of the hopes and faith of our ancestors, who, after undergoing some of the most brutal and hideous treatments and conditions, they overcame, because we are here today to speak about it. And we are here now connecting with each other using some of the sciences that our ancestors left behind. Yes, indeed, our ancestors were masters in mathematics, masters in all kinds of science, physics, chemistry, medicine, architecture, the arts, sports. So many different disciplines have been mastered by our ancestors for centuries, and even more than that. And they have left a legacy, an abundant heritage. And we've been cut off from that heritage for too long. But the heritage is not outside of us. The heritage is within us. So the most important heritage is the will to overcome, the will to keep having faith that we can make a better situation for ourselves. But the only way that comes is, first of all, to recognize who we are, to connect with who we are, to love and respect that spirit that we have within us, and to hold dear the values that were left from our ancestors, and to seek to understand, what were we? What kind of civilization did we build? Why did we act a certain way? Why did we value certain things? How did we do things? It's quite important that we reconnect with that heritage, because that heritage will also give us the fuel to continue to drive our efforts to make sure that our sovereignty will manifest once more. We have a long way to go, but we also have come from a long way, and we cannot let anything in front of us intimidate us. We are meant to thrive. We are meant to shine our best light. And in this day and age where we have now the ability to connect with each other, we can fortify each other by rediscovering all the accomplishment that we have made over the course of the thousands of years past, and certainly over the course of the last centuries. Because yes, indeed, we may have been in the most difficult postures ever of being enslaved, of being colonized, but yet again, we thrived. We were able to invent things. We were able to reorganize. We were able to create. We didn't just stay and died. We worked, we created, we celebrated every single event of life. We stay strong in connecting with the fundamentals of our families, the values that hold us dear in the community. We have to continue, my dear friends, to force the way out of the difficult situation that we are as a community together. We have to also claim the heritage that has been, all over the world now, that all our ancestors have been contributing into building for us, all the tools for resilience that they have created for us. And we can use that to edify our life. We have to make sure that we teach our children who they are. We teach them to be proud of who they are, because the huge image deficit is always teaching us and looking at us in a negative light, which is all untruth for most of it, because all that was designed, it was a propaganda designed to make sure that we never trusted each other and we never trusted self, that we always thought of us as less than. and all that we're all huge lies. We know that we are not that. We know that we are all that we can be if we reconnect with our true identity. And that identity is the identity of the children of Kemet. Kama, Kemet, Kameta, Aquabuland. So all of these names are to designate a particular territory. The territory that saw life for the first time, the territory that gave birth to humanity, the territory that gave birth to the understanding of what was God and what was the creation. This is where we come from. And we have a lot to give to the world. We have a lot to build still in the world. But for that, we need to reconsolidate. We need to connect with each other. We need to learn about each other. We need to respect each other. We need to create conditions around us where we can promote each other. Make sure that we invest in our own communities. Make sure that we invest in our own businesses. We make sure that we support each other's enterprise and businesses. It's all very important. It's our action will determine what's to come for us. We can no longer continue to trust, the outside, world that promises many things but never seen this promise realized. So we have to count on ourselves, and we have to be open to receiving the best that is yet to come. Faith is about that. Faith is about the fact that we are us as we are, the manifestation of the hopes and faith of our ancestors. And we made it here. So we have to put the same faith and the same hope that tomorrow our children will have a better life than we have. Our children, our grandchildren will thrive and will gain in sovereignty what we have lost over the thousands of years of exploitation and invasion of our lands. So I leave you today with the most gratitude to be able to spend some time with you and share this moment. And I am very happy that we are celebrating Kwanzaa together. Those are essential moments to recreate the bonds of our community as we deserve to be. Because without our community, we cannot thrive. Building and strengthening the community is one of the most important work we have in front of us. And these kind of events, these type of holidays, make sure that we connect to that unity. We unite with who we truly are. We unite with our ancestors. We unite with our history. We unite with our true nature, that is a divine nature. I thank you very much for listening, and I send you all my love and blessing, IMANI, for this season.